it's time to look at other languages. Let's mention an interesting language which is not often discussed, and that's the Welsh language. Because in the Welsh language, you have a particular diphthong which is pronounced like you. It is a rising diphthong because it's head last, because it begins with a glide and it goes to the head of the diphthong. The intensity and duration therefore falls on the final element, you. An example of the Welsh word that contains the vowel u is the word you itself. If you want to be very precise in your transcription of diphthongs, underneath the part that is less prominent, here in this case it's a falling diphthong and it ends with an off glide, I put this diacritic, which is like a curve facing up, and it shows that in the diphthong A, the E part is not to be pronounced separately. So you don't pronounce it A-E, you say A. So you don't say Be, you say Bay. You don't say Sei, you say Say. When you put this diacritic underneath this, it indicates that it's non-syllabic. Therefore, if you want to do the same to the Welsh diphthong, what you can do is you can use the same diacritic, but you have to put it underneath the I part, which is where the vowel begins, contrary to English, which it came last. Therefore, as you can see, in a rising diphthong, the part that is non-syllabic comes first. In a falling diphthong, like in English, by, the part that is non-syllabic comes last. Or here in this case, if you want to, there are people who would transcribe it with this yacht. It's time to start talking about Spanish. I'm trying to get more interactive in my channel. I had a post a while ago by someone who said, can you make a video on the difference between a diphthong and a vowel glide, especially for people learning the Spanish language? What does a strong or weak vowel mean? Is a diphthong a subset of vowel glides? I think by now I've answered most of the comment. What does a strong or weak vowel mean? Okay, in the context of diphthongs, so I think what this person means is strong is the head of the diphthong. Weak is the glide part. It's the non-syllabic part that we put the diacritic underneath. Is a diphthong a subset of vowel glides? No, a glide can be part of a diphthong. This person has some vague idea about diphthongs and the relevant words. Hopefully this video helped clarify all the concepts. But again, I'm going to take the discussion to Spanish. In Spanish, the word for body is pronounced cuerpo. Cuerpo is to be seen as a diphthong, but it's a rising diphthong. It starts with a glide and it rises to the head of the diphthong, cuerpo. The word for ice in Spanish, you might think it sounds like yellow in English, hielo. And in siete, you have a diphthong. Therefore, these two words are not 3 syllables. They are 2 because you have a diphthong and then you have a monophthong. You have the word I, which means there is, there are. The head comes first and it ends in an off glide, which is the non-syllabic part. As you can see in this brief discussion, you see that there are 2 kinds of diphthong in Spanish. In English, we only have falling diphthongs. In Spanish, we have rising as well as falling diphthongs. Therefore, if you're a learner of Spanish, and you speak probably English, which I assume that this commenter is, and she or she is learning Spanish, you are challenged because you're not familiar with the concept of rising diphthongs. Therefore, you need to get comfortable with rising diphthongs if you're learning Spanish. I'm using a simple transcription here. What is this? By now you should be able to tell that this is a falling diphthong in Spanish. Examples of this falling diphthong, which is I, baile.
I, baile.
What about A? Diphthong, head first, has an off glide, therefore it's a falling diphthong. What are the words seis, reina?
Seis, reina.
What about hoy? Diphthong, head first, therefore falling. It has an off glide. Hoy, estoy, soy, coincidencia.
Soy, estoy, coincidencia.
So it's not coincidencia, it's coincidencia. Here, there's a bit of a difference because we have a rising diphthong. Ruido, cuidado.
Ruido, cuidado.
So here, the word ruido is 2 syllables, it's not 3, because is a diphthong, it's a rising diphthong. It has an on glide and then head. Falling diphthong, head first, off glide, au, aunque, pausa.
Aunque, pausa.
Ew! Okay, if you're not sure if it's rising or falling, look, there's a glide, so it's an off glide, therefore is head first, therefore is falling. Europa, deuda.
Deuda, Europa.
What about this? What kind of diphthong is it? If it's an on glide, head last, it's rising. Esencia, infancia.
Esencia, infancia.
Yeah, on glide. If on glide, it means head last, it means rising. Cielo.
Cielo, tiempo.
Yo, head last, rising. Sucio, precio.
Sucio, precio.
You, rising. Ciudad, 21.
Ciudad, 21.
So therefore we have 2 diphthongs here. Off glide, head first. On glide, head last. So we have a falling diphthong, rising diphthong. So I think Spanish is a good way of learning diphthongs because rising, falling, you have to be very careful. Like rise, fall. Wa. This is like the French diphthong. Wa means goose. Cuatro, igual.
Cuatro, igual.
So by now you're master. On glide, rising. Bueno, fuerte.
Bueno, fuerte.
On glide, rising. Antiguo, monstruo.
Antiguo, monstruo.
The words like influir, so the ui part is not a diphthong. It's to be pronounced as 2 separate monophthongs.
Influir, construir.
So it's not influir, it's influir, construir. 2 separate monophthongs. They're not one diphthong. Therefore, I put them here properly. And here we go. Spanish is fun.